Good afternoon, students. So in the previous video, I have explained to you about the non-conventional sources of energy, that is solar energy, geothermal energy, and wind energy. So in today's video, let us continue with the remaining portion. Tidal energy. It is an energy generated from tides by building dams at the openings of the sea. A turbine is installed in the dam to produce electricity. Gulf of Kutch has potential for generation of such power. Only Canada and France have successfully produced some tidal energy. So tidal energy is an energy generated from tides by building dams at the openings of the sea or at the coastal areas. A turbine is installed in the dam to produce electricity. The Gulf of Kutch has potential for generation of such power. So the Gulf of Kutch is an inlet of the Arabian Sea, which is in the western coast of India in the state of Gujarat. So the Gulf of Kutch is renowned for its extreme tides and therefore has potential for generation of tidal energy. Only Canada and France have successfully produced some tidal energy. So in the world, only these two countries, that is Canada and France, they have successfully produced some tidal energy. So this is how tidal energy is produced. So we have seen the waves in the oceans, they use to move back and forth. They move back and forth. So when these waves or the tides hit these turbines, they generate electricity. So when the tide comes in and hit these turbines rotates, which is responsible in the generation of electricity. And also when the tide goes out, it again hit these turbines, which is helping in the generation of electricity. Now biomass includes urban waste, agricultural waste, and domestic waste. It releases methane, which is known as biogas. Biogas can be burned directly or converted to liquid biofuels and biogas that are burned as fuels such as ethanol and biodiesel. All these sources of energy are important domestic fuels that substitute other sources of energy. So biomass or biogas is produced by the decomposition or the breaking down of these waste matter. The human waste, animal waste, agricultural waste, and domestic waste. So these waste matter, they are collected in one tank, and when it gets decomposed or when it's breaking down, it releases methane, which is known as biogas. So biogas can be burned directly or converted to liquid biofuels and biogas that are burned as fuels such as ethanol and biodiesel. So these gases, ethanol and biodiesel, they are used as fuels in domestic and transportation purposes. So biogas is a renewable fuel produced by the breaking down of organic matter such as animal waste, human waste, agricultural waste, food scraps, and other domestic waste. So all these sources of energy, they are important domestic fuels that substitute other sources of energy. So here we can see how these waste matter, they are collected in a one tank, and here when it gets decomposed, it releases methane, which can be used for different purposes. Uses of energy resources. Efficient use of energy and preventing waste are important. Sustainable and least polluting sources should be utilized. So it is important to use energy efficiently, and we also need to use these sources which are least polluting to the environment. Every country needs to generate its own power to meet its requirement in the domestic and industrial sectors. This can be effectively done by getting maximum benefit from existing power plants. So energy can be generated from the existing power plants. So existing power plants should be used in such a way that it produce maximum benefit. improving the quality of reliable power supplies and use of renewable sources of energy. Now, renewable sources of energy such as solar energy, tidal energy, geothermal energy, and wind energy can be used to improve the quality of power supply. Checking power losses during generation and transmission. Construction of energy efficient building and efficient energy utilization using suitable alternative resources sources. Now, efficient energy utilization using suitable alternative sources such as solar energy, geothermal energy, wind energy, biogas, and tidal energy should be used efficiently. Creating awareness about the use of energy saving appliances for lighting, cooking, and heating in homes, offices, and industry. So, awareness should be given to the public as to how to use and to conserve energy by using of these energy saving appliances for lighting, cooking, and heating. Forming a national grid which is integrated so that power generated from all sources can be pulled in and used efficiently. So, a national grid is the world's largest company which is publicly listed utilities which is looking after the transmission and distribution of electricity and gas. It plays a vital role in connecting millions of people to energy they use safely, reliably, and efficiently. Now, conservation of resources. All minerals and conventional sources of energy are exhaustible once they are consumed. They cannot be replaced or renewed. Therefore, planned utilization of these resources is important so that we have sufficient supplies for future generation. It is necessary to reduce wastage of minerals. Rapid consumption of mineral and power resources by rich industrial countries has already caused great concern. Most developing and underdeveloped nations are exporting their mineral resources to meet their needs of foreign exchange. Let us see how we can conserve resources. So, we need to conserve resources, especially these conventional sources of energy, because they are exhaustible and they cannot be renewed. They cannot be replaced or renewed, therefore, planned utilization of these resources is important. We need to use them wisely and conserve them for the future generation. It is necessary to reduce wastage of minerals. Now, there has been a rapid consumption of mineral and power resources by rich industrial countries, and this has caused a great concern. Most developing and underdeveloped nations they are exporting their mineral resources to meet their needs of foreign exchange. Metallic minerals are recyclable. Recycling means using discarded materials once again. Now, metallic minerals like gold, steel, aluminum, silver, and copper, these minerals can be recycled. So, we need to recycle these minerals in order to uh, conserve and also to avoid wastage. Their use is possible through physical, chemical, or other changes. Reducing our consumption is another option. We should utilize suitable substitutes and alternatives to conserve minerals. So, alternatives can be added in order to conserve these minerals. For instance, biodegradable plastics have been introduced in recent years to conserve minerals. These biodegradable plastics or biodegradable bags have been introduced, which are made from plants and therefore they can be decomposed easily. Efforts should be made to avoid wastage in mining, extraction, and processing. Modern technology can be used to utilize poor quality ores and mineral fuels. Our thoughtless consumption levels have not only created a crisis but also added to greenhouse gases and air pollution. So, modern science and technology can be used to utilize the poor quality ores and mineral fuels. a thoughtless consumption levels have not only created a crisis but also added to greenhouse gases. So the use of these minerals have also added to greenhouse gases such as carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, which is very harmful for human beings and which is also an important cause for the pollution of the atmosphere and for air pollution. So with this, we have come to the end of this chapter, that is mineral and power resources. So here in this picture here, you see the map of India. So for your homework, you need to do exercise H, that is cartography. So on an outline map of India, mark the following with appropriate symbols. So first you need to draw an Indian map and then mark these boundaries, that is Pakistan, China, Bay of Bengal, Indian Ocean and Arabian Sea. So after marking these international borders, you will first locate the coal fields. Now in your text it is given Raniganj, Jharia, Talcher, Singrauli and Neveli. So the coal fields here, which I have marked here in this map is Raniganj. So Raniganj is in West Bengal. So from an atlas you can find out the location of these coal fields, oil fields and iron ore. Now the box here, the index box here is important. So you have to draw this index box and write coal fields, oil fields and iron ore. And for coal fields you need to give the symbol, the triangular symbol with black color, oil fields the rectangle symbol with yellow color and iron ore with a circle or round shape with brown color. So you can make use of your atlas to find out the location of these coal fields, oil fields and iron ore and mark it in the Indian map. So if you have any doubt, you can contact me. Thank you.